Good morning. Today is Tuesday, January 21st, 2025. And, I've been reading about Noah and being in that ark with all those animals. And I was trying to figure out how many days he was in there. And I'm sure there are scholars out there who would tell me for sure. But I know it was a long time. It was, it rained for 40 days. But then for 150 days, the waters rose up and they prevailed. They stayed there, and then there was all the drying of the earth. And it couldn't have been a great thing to be in that ark and to be with all those animals. I don't know, maybe a year or two. I mean, it was a long time. And with his sons and his daughters-in-laws and his wife, they may not have all gotten along at the same time. And, I'm sure they were very anxious to get out of that ark. And then there were probably bodies of animals and people and everything else, birds, floating around. So they didn't, it was a time that only Noah and his wife have ever experienced and lived, his family. And, we need to try to understand what that was like, because the thing is, Noah did exactly what God wanted him to, told him to, from beginning to end. Noah was a righteous man. God said, build an ark. He built an ark. He said, let the animals in. He let the animals in. He did everything. And there was one part that I didn't actually realize until I read it again. And that's in Noah. It's in Genesis chapter 8, verse 15. They're waiting for the water to dry. He sent out a dove and a raven, and the dove came back with a little leaf, and oh boy, I bet they were excited about that. But then in chapter 8, verse 15, it says, then God spoke to Noah, saying, go out of the ark, you and your wife and your sons wife with you. Bring out with you every living thing of all flesh that is with you, birds and cattle, and every creeping thing that creeps on the earth, so that they may abound on the earth and be fruitful and multiply on the earth. And some of the animals probably after a while felt like the ark was their safe place and they had to stay there. But God commanded Noah, okay, it's time. Noah had to be anxious to get out of there. Him, his wife, his sons, maybe some of the animals, they were just like, let us out of this place. And yet they did not go until God told them to. He instructed them to go out, and he told them exactly how to do it. And, so Noah waited on God to tell him when to go out of the ark. A very big thing, because only God knew when the ground would be dry enough to walk on, where they wouldn't sink in mud in some places, whatever reason. God knew exactly when. And it's like, how many of us wait? We wait on God. We have plans, we do them, we don't show God, we don't ask him to bless them, we just go ahead and then we do them. And they don't always turn out very good because we don't have God behind them. We need to wait. We show God our plans. Say, here's our plans. Bless them. And then we wait until he says, go ahead. And how do we know that? How do we know when God's talking to us? After a while. If you've been in the Word and you've been studying and you've been listening to Jesus the best you can, at some point you will know exactly it's the right time. It's not what you think, it's what you know. It's not what you want, it's what you know. When you know it's exactly right, then you can go. You're waiting on God. And I wrote just a little poem here to help remind myself of how I should handle these things. And I said, Father, Here are my plans today. Lord, laid out before you to bless them, I pray. But first I will wait, O Lord, on you. I will proceed when you tell me to. And so that's my way of reminding myself to wait on God. Because I get anxious, I want to jump right into things. Or sometimes I'm scared and I'm not sure when to go or what to do. So, in your own way, find a way to remind yourself to wait on God, to ask Him to bless your plans that day, and when He tells you to, or when you know that God has truly blessed your plans and it's time to go, then you do what you gotta do. Give it a try. All we can do is just keep trying. You have a great day, and God bless you.